Okay, I think we're live. It says
Ah,
it's recording. Okay, cool. All right, so we start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh,
Huwa,
Yahweh
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Bahawashah, Bahashem,
Bahashem Rakakwadash.
Bash.
Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught us this 100% truth according to the Holy Bible. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS UK London Forecasters Camp, and I'm joined by the brother Amnor Allah. We're going to do a lesson today going into some of the things that have been taking place um, in the start of this new year 2025. You know, there's been a lot of judgments going out already. I mean, what's the date today? The 19th. And so much has happened already. You know, you've had those judgments of the wildfires in Los Angeles, California. You had two terrorist attacks on around New Year's Day,
Mm-hmm.
multiple plane crashes, talks of further formal V outbreaks, you know, pandemics or plandemics, if you should call them. And another thing that's ramping up, which is in line with prophecy, is the judgments that are being pronounced upon women.
Mm.
Because we was talking about it at camp yesterday briefly. Um, you know, a lot of women have grown comfortable in the society which is run by Esau, which basically caters to all of the woman's needs to the point where women feel that they don't need a man anymore. You know, that's the feminist mantra. And a lot of them have grown up in that mindset and they've never really had to deal with true masculinity. I mean,
Mm.
a man in his rawest form, you know, a man in his rage, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because this society produces a lot of effeminate men and simps. And effeminate men and simps don't really check women like that. You know, us brothers in the truth, um, now we're in the truth. You know, we call out a lot of the crap that women put out there. We shoot it straight and we tell it as it is. We don't pull no punches. But that's because we've got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. I mean, speaking for myself or speaking of myself, when I was in the world, when I was younger, I was a simp too, because I was raised by my mother, and you know, I was taught, you know, you got to respect women. You know, women are, you know, sugar and spice and all things nice, and you know, you got to bend over backwards to please the woman. That's the kind of uh, you know, vibration that's pushed out by mothers to their sons, and that tends to raise effeminate men, and these effeminate men tend to get walked over by women, and society doesn't really do much to check them. But the thing is, the scriptures talk about hold on a second, the brother's just gone. Bear me a second, just having a bit of technical difficulties here.
Shalaki, I'm back.
Cool, cool. Yeah, you didn't miss much. I stopped talking, so I'll just repeat the
All
point.
right.
And if you want to chime in, feel free. I was saying that a lot of the men in this society they cater to the woman, and the woman no longer thinks that she needs the man, so therefore she can disrespect the man.
Who's up?
So go ahead, bring it out.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Beautiful precept and right on point. That's the situation we've been living out, and this has been set up by the Most High, because this really is a form of punishment for us, because you know we transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments. So the Most High has, you know, put us under the Edomites, given a woman authority over the man, you know, and this is a hellish situation for a man to live in, because this is the turning of things upside down.
Mm-hmm.
What's that precept? The turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay.
This is Isaiah 29 and verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed of him that framed it, he had say of him, Salak, let me start that again. Isaiah
Come.
29 and 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding.
Yeah. So the Most High is in control of this whole situation. Now, the point I'm making in that this preface to the videos when we're going to show and bring out the scriptures on is that the time of the woman having free reign to do as she will on the earth is coming to an end. You know, we're entering into times of great judgment, and a lot of these judgments are beginning to fall upon these women who are at ease. You read that already, didn't you? Is it Isaiah 32:9? We read that already, didn't we?
Can't know.
Rise
It's
up.
on deck though. It's on deck.
All right, we'll read that one. Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 32:9. Bring that
Yeah.
one out, Baba Kashar,
This
and
is
then we'll get into the first clip.
can't.
And if you've got anything to say, chime in.
Can't. Isaiah 32:9 says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." So even yesterday at the camp, we was going into the voice of the Lord, which is his men, the prophets.
Oh, I'll
Now,
get that.
can't. So that's
Proverbs 8:4.
yeah, you can get that. Well, you see, that's the thing is that there's the scriptures actually says it in multiple places how the Most High has spoken through his prophets, man. Luke 1:70 being one of them, which we brought out at camp yesterday, which I'll
Bring
just
it out
bring.
again.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it out right now.
Right. Before you do, I'll bring out Proverbs 8:4. It
Can't.
says, "Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men." So the Most High is dealing with the men, and really, the elect men of the nation of Israel. So the
Right.
days of being able to look down on the so-called black man, so-called Latino man, so-called West Indian, West African man, those days are coming to an end, man, because we've been under the heel of the so-called the nigger woman for the longest time, man. She's had her foot on her neck. She's had her foot on our necks like what was that officer that had his knee on George Floyd's neck? Yeah, we've been under the heel of the woman for too long, man. But those times are coming to an end. Go ahead, bring out your precept.
This is Luke 1:70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Okay, so that's another precept proving how the Lord is always spoken through his men. But because you see it coming from, men from the same demographics as yourselves, we come from a lot of us grew up in that the same kind of areas, same kind of school, same kind of financial situation, same living situation as well. You don't see it as, you don't interpret it as, oh, that's actually the voice of the Lord, but that's how the Lord is communicating with you women, man, with really everyone, man. All right. This is another one to prove that the Lord speaks through his prophets, which to be a prophet means to just say before. All right. You prophesy when you went to prophesy means you're just saying something before it happens. And that's what we're doing. So what these women are experiencing now with men having their way with them, dealing with these women, how they want to deal with these women, this has already been prophesied in the Bible. And beginning with our elder apostles, the men above us, we've been telling you that this is exactly what's going to go down, man. So
Can't.
this is Hosea 12:10. I have spoken, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Okay. So if you go back to, and there's more precepts proving that the Lord speaks through his prophet, but we can leave that for now, right? So when we go back to Isaiah 32:9, and it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice." The voice that you're hearing, that you should be hearkening onto, is the voice of an Israelite man
That's right. Very
with
well said.
100% truth. You careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. There's a scripture somewhere. It says to bow. I think it says it in a few places. It says to bow down thine ear. Means you got to submit, man. Look, when you learn maths, which the Hebrew word for maths is amath,
Which means truth.
truth for water. Well, let's deal with ratios, right? You've got two ears and you've got one mouth. surely they're meant to be used in that proportion. Meaning you have to be listening more than you speak, man. You got it, Kalab.
Yeah, you made a very good point. You made a lot of very good points there because, you know, we're under the curses. And because in society, Esau has made it to where, you know, that old saying, you know, we're only so three fifths of a man.
Yeah.
These things have been ingrained into the mind of our women. So when
Yeah.
they look at us, they don't really respect the so-called Negro man or Latino man or Hispanic man, the Israelite man. They don't respect him. The Edomite man, on the other hand, whatever he says, you know, is good. So
Right.
they're reaping all the fruits of partaking in you know, the philosophies of the society, which is basically put women on a pedestal to where nobody can really say anything bad about them without, you know, you got those simps and white knights who will want to jump up and defend a woman no matter how bad she is, rather than actually calling her out on her bullshit. And there's a scripture which says open rebuke is better than secret love. You know, so we're rebuking the women of our nation, telling them to get right, as you read, rise up, you women that are at ease, give air, ye careless daughters. So let's jump into the first clip, because, you know, these judgments are going out. There's been quite a few of them since the beginning of 2025. So we've got a few lined up here. We'll play them and we'll bring out some scriptures and speak on them.
All right. So yeah, I just need to just so that I can get the audio in the clip. I just need to mess around with this. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right. So you wanted to start off with the World Star one, yeah?
Yeah. Do I need to add the screen? Yeah.
Nah,
Add to stage.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Fair use. All these videos that we're going to play today.
Can't.
Strictly for educational purposes only. We're not benefiting or making any profit from any of these videos.
Guys, please don't look. Please look away, Adeline. Please look away. Look out that door.
My head has 8 stitches in it. I have a pretty deep gash in there. My knee is broken and my foot is also broken.
Haley Soares is recovering from painful wounds after an unthinkable attack Friday morning at a busy intersection.
He picked me up like over his head, basically, and threw me down as hard as he could.
Haley says she was slammed to the ground twice. She recorded the moment her attacker came for her in her car, and another driver captured the brutal assault, which we're pausing because it's so difficult to watch.
I burst into tears when I saw that video.
Haley's 5 feet tall and 100 pounds. She could not escape the power of the man who grabbed her.
It's absolutely heartbreaking, devastating to see someone, you know, pick up your child and throw them like a rag doll. And he did it twice.
Haley says she rear-ended her attacker at the intersection of Route 1 and 1A just before 9 a.m. and never expected a minor crash to spiral out of control.
I didn't even say anything violent to him. I didn't say anything. And he got out and he seemed very focused, very driven.
Police say 26-year-old Gladier Quistaya was standing over Haley when they arrived to arrest him. This mother of 2 young kids has a long recovery ahead, but she's grateful she survived the brutal attack.
Thankful that I'm here and I get to be with my kids and everything again. And my family. But besides that, like, I wish that had never happened.
That suspect now facing several charges, including assault and battery. His bail was set at $25,000. In Attleboro, John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
All right. So there you see Jake in his full fury. You know, these women can't stand toe to toe. A lot of these women have hid behind Esau's laws to protect them, but the times they're coming into is where Esau's laws are no longer going to be able to protect these women, and they're going to face the full fury and the full wrath of the Lord, because the scriptures talk about there be spirits that be created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. So the Most High is going to put the spirit on a lot of these men who are frustrated by the fact that they've been walked over by women all their life. When society breaks down and the police, when 911 and 999 ain't responding to the calls, these women it's going to be open season on these women, and they have to get, if they're of the hopeful elect, they have to be in the right mind to understand that these things are going to become commonplace, and there's not going to be no men rushing to save you. You got anything to say on that?
Absolutely, because what you got to understand, what you're seeing is just because the way she described it, it was just a minor little crash, into his rear bumper. But what you got to understand is that this man has probably dealt with, trying to get right, trying to, deal with women, and maybe he's been turned down numerous times. Maybe he's been given the cold shoulder. Maybe he's been made to go out on dates and, not actually get to second base and make, and he doesn't really have that. He's not really comforted by a woman, because it's a man's divine right to have women, especially as an Israelite man. Israelite men love women, man. So what you have here is a lot of pent up frustration, man, and him having to operate in society like everything is cool, everything is normal, when really he's suffering in silence, man. Men have testosterone, and if that's left, if you just left burning and you don't get any sort of form of release, man, then unless you have some sort of self-control, it can come out in very explosive ways, as you've seen in this video here. So what you got to understand is that you've got a lot of women that they basically treat men like a mouse and cheese, man. You got the cheese there, you got the mouse trap, and then that's how these women are, man. Because you put yourself online on the OnlyFans or on the social media, half naked or completely naked, but then at the same time, you turning down men. Men want to sleep with you, and you're not giving it to them. So when the Lord allows for the spirit of vengeance to open up, this is what you're gonna have happening, man. And that right there was an example of the Lord using one of the spirits of vengeance, man. Which I will bring out that scripture that you quoted in Sirach 39. I'll bring that out now.
Go ahead, Thawada. A very good point you made there as well.
All through the spirit and power of your heart, Hashem Yahshua, man.
About the pent up frustrations. I mean, that can go back years. Because a lot of men are kind of treated like they're invisible by women, even from childhood. When you're at primary school and stuff, I remember being at primary school myself. You put your hand up to call the teacher for help, and the teacher will look past you and they'll go and help the girls who put their hand up at the other side of the room. Being a man in society, unless you're what they consider to be a high value man, which is an erroneous judgment anyway, because they base it upon a man's monetary status rather than the character of his the content of his spirit. You're basically seen as invisible. So that frustration can go back years, over a whole lifetime, and all it takes is one moment, such as what we saw there, where it just got too much and the dude lost it. That woman's lucky to be alive because she landed on her head. He could have broke her neck, anything. But that's just the taste of things to come when the society continues to further fall apart. So you remember, you've got a lot to look forward to in that respect. Did you want to bring something up?
Yeah, but you just need to you just add my screen to the stage again, Baba Shah. Kind of there was another. Oh yeah, that's it. The Wadi House, Shy. So I got the Sirach 39 on deck, but I just Spirits brought this to me as well. So this is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 5, and it reads, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. he would not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. All right. So every morning, so every day, the Lord brings his judgment, man. And what just happened to that woman who appears to be an Edomite was the judgment of the Lord, right? But it says the unjust knoweth no shame. So she's still gonna, you know, despite that happening to her by a big, strong, dominant man, she's still gonna walk around with that feminist mentality. She's still gonna believe that she's equal to a man. Sorry, that she's better than a man. She's still gonna believe in women's liberation. So that's what it means when it says, but the unjust knoweth no shame, is because it's like the Lord can jack you up, right? The Lord can give you major judgment like this, have you survive, and you still don't learn. So you
Yeah,
still going to continue in your wicked ways until eventually you just be completely destroyed, man.
I've got a precept to back you up on that. This is Ezekiel 33 and 33.
Mm,
And it says, and when this cometh to pass, lo it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
that's right. They're going to know that a prophet have been among them, man, because we've been telling you about these things, beginning with men that were on the scene before us, and we're continuing into other men's labors. But you know, the people bringing out the message may have changed, like, you know, brothers coming into the faith, but the actual message remains the same. That hasn't changed at all. Okay, so it's like, and now it's being made very clear. You know, I'll compound the scripture with Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So yeah, it may have seemed like maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago, these sort of situations happening to women, that could have been deemed as far-fetched. But now we're living in the time where it's not so far-fetched. These things are happening. This is reality. And this is why we open up with what Isaiah chapter 32 and 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Give ear unto my speech, you careless daughters, man. But you know, but regardless of the message going out, regardless of the judgment going out, you women don't want to fall in line. So the question is, what else is left for you, man? You know?
Elder Apostle Gabar always says, when words don't teach, adversity will.
That's right.
So that's what's on the horizon for these women. May I bring out a precept on
Absolutely.
Ezekiel 9,
Oh yeah.
starting at verse 4?
Do you want me to read it and you break it down?
Yeah, go ahead, you read it. Break it
Ezekiel 9 and 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Now, just for edification's sake, let's go to the word mark.
Is that
What
for what?
is it talking about here? And Khan, you're correct. The mark is the wa, although he doesn't pronounce it like that. We'll hear what he says. Right? And it says desire, mark, or mark as a sign of exemption from
From judgment.
judgment. You got it.
Yeah. So that mark is being set upon the men that right now are sighing and crying for all the abominations that have been done in the midst of this place, in this world. Because the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. So the same men that were sighing and crying back then in the time of Ezekiel, the prophets are back in their lot. And we're sighing and crying for all the abominations that we see in the midst of the world that we're currently in, which is far more wicked than it was even back then. We're living in the worst time in terms of morality there's ever been. This is hell for us. So when we sigh and we cry, we're crying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to send Yahweh Shai back and to deliver us from this place. That's us crying to the Lord and the Most High puts that mark of exemption upon his men. Now that's not a physical mark like the MOTB, which is going to be, actually implanted into people. It's a
Yeah.
spiritual mark of exemption. So the man that the Lord was talking to in that scripture was an angel, and that
Yeah.
angel was going around and setting a mark upon the men that sign, that cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. You can keep reading, and I'll go more into it.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Because living in this feminist age, there's been a lot of sparing in
Yeah.
terms of women. Like a lot of women get by in their looks.
Mhm.
They live life on easy mode because they might have a pretty face. Men will treat them, soft. Like you even see it at work. I remember when I used to work certain jobs, and the boss will come in and he'll speak to you a certain way, all stern and stuff. But when he speaks to the women, takes all the bass out of his voice, and like treats them with, what do they call, kid gloves.
Mm.
Women get by on easy where men have to deal with all the hardships. Men are used to being punished when they get out of line, but a lot of women will step out of line and they'll get passes. But that time's coming to an end, and we're going to read it here. Let's continue.
And just quick before we continue, because I'm just looking at my phone right now. Just looking at YouTube notifications, man. And as of recent, there's been a lot of videos coming out on you women, man, saying how you
Yeah.
women are out of line, and basically you need to get back in line. Now I did a video the other day entitled learn to ascertain the spirit is speaking, man, because I can already, with the way the women of today are, with the amount of videos that the men of the Lord are producing pertaining to women, they ain't gonna see it as, you know what, man, these men are actually watching for my soul. They're gonna see it as a personal attack on women. And it's not, it's just, hey man, when we read these scriptures, when we watch videos, we get cut. That's
Can't.
Hebrews 4 and 4. It tells you, which I can't even roughly paraphrase that right now, so I'll just quickly grab it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really what the scriptures is meant to do. The scriptures are meant to cut you. Hebrews
The
4 and
word of the
12.
Lord is sharper than a two-edged sword and quick and powerful.
There you go.
It's
That's it
supposed.
right here. Hebrews 4 and 12. The word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And that's the thing, is that because a lot of the times what women say don't match their actions. But this word of the Lord is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Now, when you go to the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 26, which was written by pretty much one of the wisest men on earth, King Solomon himself, who, we believe to be Yahweh Shai, it says here in Ecclesiastes 7 and 26, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth her, whoso pleaseth the Most High, shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So you see,
Yeah.
it says whose heart is snares and nets, man. And you brothers that dealt with women, man, women, they love playing games, man. The whole interaction between man and a woman is a game. That's why when you're trying to draw a woman, what do they call it? Courting, you know? Like it's
What
like you're
played on
playing,
a court? A
there
game.
you go, a game. Like you got tennis, it's going with it's going from one side of the court to the other side of the court, and it's just the constant game. But that's because her hearts are snares and nets. She's always, while she's sitting there seemingly quietly, she's planning something. There's you know, she's the weaker vessel. So Satan naturally is always dealing with Eve, man, especially the Southern Kingdom women. Okay. So just going back to the precept that I read, Hebrews 4 and 12, the latter part, it said, the word of the Most High is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, man. So basically, when you hear these scriptures, it's like you feel naked. And that's why you buck up against it. That's why you see it as an attack. But the thing is, if you're not willing to submit to the will of the Lord, then you're gonna end up like this woman, man, getting body slammed by men twice the size of her, and not feeling no way about it, man.
You know, that's a very good point. May I bring out a precept to back you up, and then we'll jump back to Ezekiel 9. If you could bring out Proverbs 13 and 13, Baba Kashar.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite scriptures, this.
Proverbs 13 and 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
Yep, and there's actually another one I want to bring out. I'll bring it out. Proverbs 27 and verse 5 to go with the precept we just brought out. It says, open rebuke is better than secret love. So it is better to hear a rebuke and get checked to be able to get right now, because the way rebuke works is that it's supposed to prevent you from making a bigger mistake later down the line. Yeah, it might feel a little bit hurtful right now in this moment, but it's better to take the rebuke and learn from it than continue on in your folly and get the judgment of the Lord. You know, so that's the way it works. But women, they don't seem to understand that, because one of the things we were saying at camp yesterday is that a lot of these church pastors aren't really bringing out these types of scriptures to their congregation, which are predominantly filled with women, because they know it will drive them away. You know, and that will hurt their pocket, because they make a lot of money, you know, from their congregations. So now you've got the prophets rising up, coming back on the scene and proclaiming these words. And guess what? Society is starting to follow down the line of what the prophets are saying is going to happen, where women are going to start to become, how do you say, a prey.
Yeah.
You know, in the times to come, when society breaks down, when Esau's no longer there to protect the women, they're gonna be a prey. So let's just go back to Ezekiel 9 and finish that off, and then we'll jump into the next clip, because it's we should probably speed this up a bit.
This is Ezekiel 9.
We got to
6 now.
Yeah.
Yep, this is it says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. So you see that mentioned females twice.
Yeah.
Because maid, which you don't have to take my word for it. We can go, to the blue letter. All right.
Women ain't exempt from judgment. In Esau's world, yeah, you are. You know, you get your free pass. But in the world of the truth, which is, the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, women are not exempt from judgment at all. You know, everybody has to pay.
That's right, man. So the word here, Strong's H 1330, and that's Bathwala, which is a virgin. So of course, this is talking about a female virgin, as you see, feminine passive particle of unused root, a virgin from her privacy. Okay, so that's talking about women, right? And then you've got because you have an alternative word for virgin as well in the Hebrew, which is Ilama, which is a young woman of childbearing age. So pretty much when a woman, a girl reaches, the flower of her age, as the scripture would say, she become Ilama, meaning she's a young woman of childbearing or marriageable age. But then you've got again Bathwala, a virgin being a young woman, like a young girl who, of course, hasn't reached the flower of her age yet. So that mentions you females twice. So the Most High don't care how beautiful you are, how old you are, or how young you are. If you're a wicked woman, you're going to get the consequences of being a wicked woman. So I read it again.
Right.
Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, the thawah, the mark of exemption, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
So if I may, that mark of exemption, that's going to be the mark of the real high value man in the times to come, because that man's going to be exempt from these violent judgments that are going to be plaguing all the heathen, the Edomites and all the Jake who don't want to get right as well. We're going to be that small sanctuary of safety, and women are going to see that, and they're going to want to be under the hedge of protection that an Israelite man of the elect will be under, so they're going to want to get in order in that day. So let's play the next clip, Baba Kashar.
Come on.
Unless you've got something more to say.
No, that's it on that, really. I'll get the next clip. Again, you're just gonna have to
Share.
do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me just make sure man arrested after. Did you want the clip that we just played, but then the one on YouTube? Yeah. Did you want that one?
Yeah, we can play that one. This is a quick one.
Come on. All right. What's that one? Man arrested after. All right. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I've got it.
Come on. Fair use once again.
New tonight, we're hearing from the woman who was body slammed onto the pavement today at a busy Attleboro intersection. We should warn you, some of this video you're about to see is disturbing. Police gave us eyewitness footage of the incident showing the man grabbing Haley Soares and throwing her head first to the ground just before 9 this morning. Police say witnesses told them that man yanked her out of her car after she rear-ended him. Soares was taken to Sturdy Memorial Hospital with a, quote, very serious skull injury. Broken knee, broken foot, and injury to her eye socket.
Let me just pause it there real quick. Did you hear that? Broken knee? What was it?
Broken foot. Damage to
damaged eye socket. All right, because we brought out earlier. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So again, it's like even though this has happened to her, she's still gonna be on her bullshit, man. Right up until the Lord just completely does away with her, man. And this is why. I was speaking with the brothers yesterday. I might have said that at camp. I said it's crazy, man, that it's really gonna have to take the whole world being brought to its knees for you women to finally fall in line, man. That is crazy. That's crazy, man.
They're too busy trying to live their truth, aren't they?
Yeah, their truth, not the truth.
Make it. Yeah, I believe in my truth, and you have to respect my truth.
Well, I don't respect your truth, and you going through, and he's showing you women that, man. But before he really lets loose on you women, he's giving you warning, man. Ezekiel 3:17 says, "Give them warning from me," and that's what we're doing. We're giving you warning from the Lord. But you see, emotions is a powerful thing, man, because a woman, will be up in her emotions, and then all of a sudden, I don't care what the Lord's gonna do. Oh yeah, well if I gotta go through Jacob's trouble without a man, then fuck it. Here's what it is. I'm used to a hard life anyway. Yeah, but not like this, man.
Yeah.
And
it's an interesting point you make, because this woman, she says she's got children. The question is, where is her husband?
Right.
If she had a man with her, maybe he'd have been able to protect her from being attacked in this situation. This society has allowed women to have liberty, and liberty is something that destroys women, because they weren't made to be independent and self-willed. They're made to serve. The word woman means female servant.
Literally.
So yeah, carry on. Play the clip, and we'll move on from this.
Skull injury, broken knee, broken foot, and injury to her eye socket. The mother of two says she's thankful to be home from the hospital tonight with her family.
And I just started crying, and I was like, I can't feel my knees. I can't feel my knees. I needed her to go get my kids, so she had to go pick up my children, and that's all I could think was, I'm probably never going to be able to walk again. I don't know if he was having a bad day. I don't know what that was, but if that's the type of person he is, then I don't think he belongs in society with the rest of us.
26-year-old Gladiator Quasia of Pawtucket was arrested and charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, that being the pavement itself. He's also charged with destruction of property and driving without a license. Bail was set at $2,500, and the suspect was ordered not to have any contact with the alleged victim.
Man said a dangerous weapon, man.
Yeah, and that was the concrete.
No, really, what that dangerous weapon was Jake himself, man. Because think about it, why do you think these Edomite officers are so quick to gun down Jake, or why, you know, when they're trying to arrest Jake, they be rolling, you know, deep, man. You know, they be rolling with like 4 or 5 officers at least just for one Jake.
Yeah.
Doesn't it say that in Genesis 25, was it? That one people shall be stronger than the other, man?
Yeah. And that's Jake.
There you go.
Jake in his full fury, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play the next one, Baba Kashar. Keep it moving.
Okay, next. No.
Oh yeah, I've got to add it, yeah. And it's interesting because that woman was saying she doesn't think he belongs in society with the rest of us. Well, this is the funny thing. This society is coming to an end.
Right.
And all the you got to consider all the inmates that are doing time in prison. Maybe they've been put on child support, been fucked over by women all their life. When they come out, man, if you think that Jake was bad, wait till they get their hands on the women.
Hey, just like they clone Tyrone, man, you're gonna have a whole conveyor belt of not even just Jake, man, just men in general, just coming out the cages, just ready to have their way with it, man. Seeking that what's it? That recompense.
Mm.
You need to share the my thing.
All right, thought I got you.
Yeah, add it. Sure.
Now at 11, it is video that is going viral on social media tonight. WTOL 11 looking into this apparent road rage incident. You may have seen this video on Facebook. Take a look at this video from Doug Miller. You could see the driver in the blue car slam on her brakes, get out, and start yelling on Hathaway in East Toledo.
Get out! Get out! I didn't touch your car. You were on my gun. Come and touch me because my man's right from here. Come and put your hand on.
This was Saturday morning. Then the passenger in the red car gets out. He walks up to the woman and eventually turns away. That's when she hits him. He turns around, hits her back, and slams her onto the ground. He gets back inside and the red car pulls off. Another vehicle eventually shows up. A man gets out and talks to the woman. Then both vehicles pull away. So that's the video. We did check in with Toledo police, and we are told that no reports have been filed from any of the individuals involved.
Yeah. So it's not just Jake who's fed up with the women. Edomite's fed up with her too. That dude in the pajamas, man. He was being passive and was prepared to walk away, but the woman was so entitled, and she thought that, you know, she was so what's that word?
Empowered.
That's it. The word. Empowered or emboldened that she could get away with just hitting a man, and it would be nothing. but she got a taste of what it was like, because that punch caught her in the jaw, but she didn't expect the body slam that came afterwards, man. And the guy didn't even look like he was struggling to pick her up. He just smashed her on the ground like a rag doll. Now that Jake who threw the little woman in the previous clip, I mean, he went all in. I mean, he lifted her up over her head. But this Edomite, he had enough too. So, you know, it's all men. All men have had enough of these women, man.
Well, can I add something as well, Baba Kashar? Because I just
do.
picked up something very interesting, right? Because and this goes to show you, man, how precious, and you Israelite men that are in this truth, you need to understand just how precious you are, man. She laid hands on that individual. She actually said, I'm not sure if you caught it, Color, but she actually said, come and touch me then. My man's right there. Okay.
I didn't even catch that.
I'm going to play it again, right? Listen carefully. She's like, come and touch me. My man is right there. But you see, it's not about just having any old man. It's about having a man of the Lord with you. That's where the protection comes. Okay, so I'm going to play it again and try and catch it. Listen very carefully.
Come.
Hathaway in East Toledo.
Get out! Get out! I didn't touch your part. You were on my gut. Come and touch me, because my man's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't put that in the subtitles.
You were on my
but she
gut.
said it.
Come and touch me, because my man's right. I didn't touch your part. You were on my gut. Come and touch me, because my man's right.
And you know, and the funny thing is as well, in this day and age, they always talk about consent, right? Well, she consented for her to be touched. She said, "Come and touch me. My man is right there." Hey man, let's bring the precept out, man. Matthew 12 and 36, is it? Hold on, let me get it, and then I'll share the screen. This Bible is playing out, man. That's why it would behoove you women to take heed, man, and come and submit under a man of the Lord, man, who will be able to protect you in this time that's coming, man, because the time of great tribulation is upon us, man. You know, the scriptures ain't lying. You know, we're seeing the Bible literally play out right before our eyes. Halab, if you just add my screen onto the front stage, for sure.
Yep, gotcha.
Come and touch me, my man's right there. Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. And she had to, she got pulled up on her word instantly, man.
Yeah.
Come and touch me, my man's right there. And okay, the Lord had it play out to where he touched you, which, well, to be honest with you, he probably wouldn't have touched you. But in the moment you thought it was okay to lay hands on him, he showed you just how weak you are. And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. You women are about to be shown, because you couldn't play your position, you're gonna learn to fall in your position, man.
Yeah.
Okay. And just one more point, if I may, because that really grabbed me when she said, "Come and touch me, my man is right there." All right. I'll start off with Isaiah 32 and 2. Right? It says, "And a man, not just any man, but an elect man of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai." Not no man coming in that name of the surfer dude, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. And ain't no man coming in the name of that surfer dude gonna be able to be a hiding place from the wind. All right. Isaiah 32 and 2. "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, which is a violent storm, as rivers of water in a dry place." Imagine you in a desert, man. Sun all beating. You just cooking in that sun. No water, no nothing. And then you see that river, man, that stream. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be relieved.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be like to have a man of the Lord in that day. Or as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. The sun's all beating down on you. You in that dry ass desert. You want that. Okay, then you find that great rock, and you're able to find refuge there for a little piece. You know, that's what it's gonna be like to have a man of the Lord in the time that's coming. Just one more precept. I'm gonna hand it over, Baba Kushar.
Khan,
Isaiah
I've got one
13
for you
and
as well when
12.
you're ready.
Khan. Isaiah 13 and 12 says, I will make a man, once again, not just any man, but an Israelite man of the Lord, an elect man, that is. Okay? It says, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Because for you few amount of sisters that may be watching, man, try and know if you know, if you dealing with a man of the Lord in the times that we're coming into, man, try and know ain't no man gonna be able to lay hands on you like that the way this man did, man.
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna have some hey, listen, man. Lord willing, we be of the elect. We gonna be doing things we didn't even know we could do, man. All right, and we ain't gonna be praising ourselves, man. We're gonna be praising the one who gave us the power to do those things, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahshai.
Try.
You got it, Kalab.
Yeah, there's a precept on the point that you made where she said, touch me because my man's right there. Would you mind reading Proverbs 29, 25 and 19, Baba Kushar?
Proverbs 25, 19. It reads, confidence. You bad, bro. Proverbs 25 and 19. It says, confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Damn.
Yep. So these women are going to learn. Again, you know, the so-called Negro man has been the most looked down upon. Like we ain't nothing, like we're lower than the dirt of the street. But soon they're going to realize, you know, Jake's it, man. And, you know, in the society right now, Jake's starting to get a bit of shine again. But that's because of Jake's sexual prowess. You know, a lot of women will check for a Jake because of his sexual prowess. But when it comes to actually, you know, looking to settle down with, or a man that's, you know, marriageable, we're still nah, you know, we ain't it. But they're going to realize that the Israelite man is you know, the elect man, and we've got that hedge of protection around us, and the women are going to want a piece of that. So it's 52. Let's quickly play the last clip.
Just to add to what you're saying, just to prove what you're saying as well, because you know, we're mainly just known for our sexual prowess at the moment. That's very true, man. You know, I was dating this Edomite chick a few years back, and she was one of those ones. Oh, you know, like naturally when women, you know, are in love with you, man, there's not really much that they hold back in terms of what they say to you. So even close family members. So she said to me, that her mum said to her about me that her mum said to her about me that don't look, man, make sure you don't settle down with that man, you know, because all black men are good for is sex, you know. So make sure you're ready to settle down and be serious. You go find yourself a nice white man. And you know, she told me it straight up, man. I mean, you know, when you Jake, you always kind of know where it is between Jacob and Esau, man. So, you know, I kind of laughed, but I mean, at the same time, you know, you're a bit like, damn, like, you know, is that really all that we're good for, man?
You know, my add to your point, because I experienced something similar when I was at university. I was in a situation where I was sharing a house with 4 other girls, and I was the only guy in there, and they were like Elamite and Sri Lankan, I believe. And the things that they would say, man, like because I could hear them talking, because my room used to be by the kitchen. And I moved like a ninja, so they wouldn't know when I was in and when I was out. So sometimes I'd be in my room and I could hear them talking, and they'd be saying shit like, "Oh yeah, you know, I do things with a black man, but I never marry one, I never date one, you know." And you know that's the way these women think, man, about Jake. You know, they look down on you, and especially like, and they were even scared to tell their parents that they had a black man living in their house.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And this is you know, this is what Jake has to deal with, man. But times like that, these times are coming to an end. now where was it? Elder Apostle of Amlab said, the Israelite man has been beaten down enough. Now he's going to get his shine.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right, man. This is just on point. This is Zephaniah 3 and verse 19. It says, "Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame." And we've been put to shame in every land that we've gone into, man. You know, even like when you go on holiday, you know, it don't matter where you go, like you can even one of the holidays I've been on, like, you know, just to name one, like when I went to Greece, you know, you see all the people and stuff, the locals, and then you always just see an Israelite man just walking by selling, like, I don't know, bracelets or, you know, this cheap jewelry, you know, just looking like low, man.
Yeah.
So like right now in society, you know, us Israelite men, we're at the bottom of the totem pole, man. But you see, I liken the elect onto Bitcoin. When you think about Bitcoin, for a very long time, people thought it was of no value. You know, you're wasting your time getting that Bitcoin. You know, why would you invest in that? And all of a sudden, man, hey, look, if you didn't invest in that Bitcoin, well, you missed the trade, man. You know, like you missed the big, you know, gain from it. You know, and that's what it's gonna be like with the men of the Lord. Because right now we're just here, man. You know, the Lord just got us, you know, it's on this low level. That's the scriptures. Be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. But the time is coming where Jake gonna be, the Israelite man gonna be the most valuable asset out there, man.
Yeah.
We're really gonna shine in the face of adversity, man.
Yeah. We're gonna be the true high value man. Yeah. Should we jump into the last video and then we can wrap up? Do I have to share the screen again?
Absolutely. Let me just get sorted first. It's the security guard one now, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now this one, the clips we've just showed, the two of them have been from 2025. So the first few weeks of January. But this last clip, this was from 1 year ago. But it's still edifying because it shows the spirit of the man being roused up against these women for judgment. So we'll play it.
Can't just share the screen, yeah?
Can't.
Water.
Tonight's top story: viral and violent brawls outside a nightclub. Questions are being raised about a security officer caught on camera body slamming a woman to the ground. Several million views on this video posted to Twitter, showing the chaos happening over the weekend. Tonight, all new insight into what led up to these tense moments. The security company telling KENS 5 two of its officers were trying to stop 6 fights happening outside the club off I-10 and UTSA Boulevard. KENS 5 reporter Henry Ramos is following this developing story tonight.
Over the phone, I did speak with the managing partner of Pravat.
This guy, he ain't it, man. This beat a simp guy with no neck, he ain't it. This isn't the elect man that women need to be looking for, because they've picked an effeminate man to narrate this story, because they're trying to spin it like, oh, well, the woman was the victim. That's why they didn't show the clip of what happened before to make the security guy body slam the woman to the floor. They just cut it and just showed him dropping her on the floor. And they're going to try and spin it like, oh, well, you know, maybe he was too violent. But guess what? As we read in Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. There's not going to be no pity for these women in the times to come, man. Because judgment's going to be going off on all sides, and people aren't going to be able to stop and help you out. You know, because it's going to be every man for himself in them days, man.
Yeah.
You know, so guys like this alphabet dude here, man, he ain't gonna be
this ain't that's gonna be made onto fine gold, man.
Yeah.
You know? This ain't you know, because Israel, what's it, Yasha Allah, he Prince Power. He ain't a prince of the power, bro. All right, this is a straight son of man right here, and a alphabet one at that too.
Yeah, you could tell a man by his look and his countenance, and this guy is very fruity, to say the least. But go ahead and play the clip.
Nightclub, as well as the owner of the security company Precision Defense Group, and both telling me that they want to see more surveillance video to get the full picture of all the madness that unfolded out here. The moment seen by millions, a woman slammed to the parking lot ground by a security officer. Management of Pravat telling KINS 5 the madness happening after hours. 2 security officers of Precision Defense Group were working Saturday night. They're contracted by the business. The owner of the security company says several fights were happening. The owner says it was chaos trying to get things under control before San Antonio police arrived. In the video, the same officer who slammed the woman also pepper sprayed another woman. You hear her after in the video screaming she can't see. Over the phone, I asked the chief about the actions of his security officer, like throwing the woman down to the ground. He says until he sees the other videos, he won't comment. He says he can't say if the officer did anything right or anything wrong until he gets the full story. Now, I want to point out, you can see that there are other surveillance cameras here on the property of the shopping plaza. Club management and the security company say they are looking into claims about the woman's behavior before she was forcefully brought to the ground. Moving forward, Pravat's managing partner says more security officers will be present, and they hope to work more closely with SAPD. When officers arrived that night, everyone had already taken off. I asked SAPD if that security officer could face any charges, and they told me at this time there's no complainant. The owner of the security company told me that he did speak with a woman over the phone on Sunday, and she asked him if there was something else that could have been done besides being slammed to the ground. We, of course, plan to follow any new developments in this story. Reporting off UTSA Boulevard, Henry Ramos, KINS 5.
So, I've got Micah 7 and 10 on.
Yeah, I've got that. Let me just share my screen and then I'll read it and you can break it down.
Can't.
Hold on. There you go.
The water. Right.
Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eye shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets.
That's a beautiful precept. And she that is my enemy, this is the woman. You know, she's become our enemy because she's been following after the philosophies, you know, of the enemy, of Esau. So she's become an enemy unto her man. You know, she's in bed with, what do they call it? Sleeping with the enemy.
That's right.
You know, following after all of his ways, living it up in his society. You know, they say the white man's heaven is the black man's hell. But Eve is enjoying that white man's heaven. You know, she's enjoying the perks of the society. But guess what? The times are coming when what do we say? Shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Now mine eyes shall behold her, she should be trodden down as the mire of the street. And it's funny because all those women got laid out like ragdolls in the street, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot more of that in times to come, man. And this is just a small little taster of what the Most High's got. Because when his judgment goes out, man, you know, this is light compared to what the Most High can really do.
Right. And that's the thing, man, because, you know, as you mentioned, when you saw how these women were getting body slammed to the floor, man, you know, how can you talk about, you know, equality and women's liberation, or women are better than men, when even just on a physical level, you've just been proven wrong.
Yeah.
In multiple videos, man. So the whole idea of you being equal, that come on, man, that's null and void.
Yeah, that's just like as much as a fantasy as the American dream.
Right.
You know, it's a vain thing. But the thing is, because because men have been restrained, these women haven't learned.
Mm.
You know, when you're a boy, when you're a child at school, you learn pretty quick that you shouldn't run your mouth, because you know, if you run your mouth to the wrong person, you might end up eating a fist. But these women, they didn't learn that lesson early on in life. You know, they got the free pass, and they've been running around with thinking that they're invincible. But guess what, man? They ain't, and it's been proven.
Proven on multiple occasions, man. You know, and you can thank Gloria Steinem for that. You know, she's an Edomite woman, man. So
Yeah, and you had the so-called nigger women following her with a fist up.
You women are so stupid, man. And when we're telling you that, again, you take it as a personal attack, man. But you see, because you lot say you go to church every Sunday, but you ain't coming out the scriptures, man. Because I said you stupid. Oh yeah, well, how could you say that? We're the divine feminine. Job 39 and 17. Because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. That's why you need to come up under a man. You know, but what the issue is that modern day women have a problem with order. All right.
Yep.
So really, when you're saying that you're going to the church every Sunday and that, I don't know, you know, what scriptures they be reading out at church, man. Because we letting you, we ain't in a so-called church, as they'd say, but we laying it all out for you to see. And this is coming out of the KJV Bible that your pastor allegedly is reading. This is 1 Corinthians 11:3, straight to the point.
New Testament.
And this is the New Testament.
Because they tried to excuse all the Old Testament scriptures and say, you know, you said this yesterday. They think, oh, but you know, God, the Old Testament God was very hard on women, but the New Testament God is easier on them somehow. That's some bullshit I've heard them say.
That is shit. And that's some bullshit, man. What was that? Sorry, what do you want me to bring up?
I thought you was going to bring out a precept. I thought I interrupted you, Salakia.
Oh, right. No. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's some bullshit, man. Because you know, we even proved that camp yesterday. There's various scriptures that in the Old Testament that mirror what's being said in the, you know, that there's many scriptures like in the New Testament that mirrors what's being said in the Old Testament. There's, you know, times where, you know, men that wrote scriptures in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, such as what Apostle Paul, man, you know, he quoted scriptures from the Old Testament. Yahweh Shai quoted scriptures from the Old Testament. So what are you guys talking about, man? You know, but again, that's why you need to come up under a right man, because you know, before I read this, what's that scripture? I think that's in 2 Timothy chapter 3. And it's like, man, this Bible is so clear for us, man. Like, the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshai for giving us the Holy Spirit, man. Because like we just see this so clear, man. And that's hey, as the scriptures say, faith is a gift.
Yep.
You know? 1 minute, let me do it this way. Let me type it in here. I'll leave it somewhere in Timothy. Yeah, 2 Timothy 3 and 6. All right, cool. The word. All right, so this is 2 Timothy 3 and 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead
away silly women,
laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. And that's the thing, you women, you always learning something. You got your college degree, you know, you got this, that course under your belt, you got that experience, this experience, you got your own cosmetic business set up, you know how to put the lip filler in, this, that, like, you know how to do the acrylics, right? You always learning, and when it comes to the scriptures, you're learning everything but the right thing.
Yeah.
And you're learning under the wrong men. And you wonder why you go home every night and you're upset and miserable. Because a lot of you women really are upset, miserable, because you spend your life seeking approval. And if you don't get that approval from men, then you pretty much feel worthless, man. And a lot of men ain't for you women, man, nowadays, man. Especially you know, the nigger woman, because you know a lot of men don't walk up to your shit.
Yeah, and it stinks.
That's right.
The nigger woman done shit the bed, and Jake's getting out of that.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm out of this bitch, man. 1 Corinthians 11:3. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought the previous precept that you did out, because that's the one exactly I had in the mind. So that's the spirit that you brought it out. So carry on.
Fine, this is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High Yahweh.
May I just say something on that?
Absolutely.
That's the scripture that stirs up the demons in a woman, because there's been a number of times when women have come up to camp and they're like, oh yeah, well, I want to learn the truth, or I believe in this thing, but bring out 1 Corinthians 11 and you see how much of a problem they've got with it. You know, they start bucking up, foaming at the mouth, like like they're glitching.
Now, what do you mean?
Yeah, they don't like that scripture, man. So a lot of women would have. They say they believe in the New Testament, but they'd have a very big problem with the Apostle Paul if he was on the scene today, because this is what he'd be saying. They'd have a big problem with him.
These women claim that they love Jesus, man, which really is, his name is Yahweh Shai. But if Yahweh Shai came on the scene right now, hey, man, these women ain't having it, man. You know, he's like the ultimate, masculine man there is, man. You want to talk about toxic masculinity, man. Have you met Yahweh Shai?
Well,
So
it's funny.
Go ahead.
It's funny because they call a man that is desirable an alpha male. Well, Yahweh Shai is the alpha and the omega.
Ouch. How about that for some? But here's the thing, man. Because a lot of the time when we was watching the videos, man, like we don't feel sorry for one of these women for being handled the way they've been handled, man. And really that's the right spirit to be in, man.
Yeah.
I have a precept, but now another precept come to my head. So let me bring that out real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So it's actually a righteous thing, man. And it said to them that trouble you. You women trouble men. As we brought out earlier, how many men are sitting in jail, man, just rotting away behind women? How many
killed in child support?
Or killed in child support, or hey, man, you know how it was growing up in the Ends Club. How many cases did you hear of men being put to death by these, what they call set-up chicks? Right? So all of this wickedness, you women have got to pay, man. Even when Elder Apostle Racha, he calls them GMO babies, man. GMO baby is a
Pookie
product.
and Ray Ray.
Pookie and Ray Ray. Let's bring out. See, the scriptures have the answers for everything, man. Let's bring out 2 Esdras 5 real quick, and verse 8. It says, "There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent again, and the wild beasts shall change their places," which we're seeing that happen now. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and that's what you have. Got these gremlins out here, these demons, man. These hooligans running the streets. These men are straight up demons, man. But that's because they've come up under the nigger woman, man. They haven't learned to apply logic. They've learned to act first, think later.
And
that's a lot of the time. That's the same antics that the nigger woman be on. That's you talk first, then you think later, man. Because one thing about women is that they are accountable, not openly though, but they get real accountable when after they bear the punishment of, their wicked doings. Then they sit there bitter, lonely, with the Ben and Jerry's, right? Wasting
believing in their truth.
Yeah, in their truth, thinking about these things, but pride, they go they just go and double down on their wickedness, man, and it's just an ongoing cycle.
Yeah.
So, you know, because a lot of the time, you know, like Khalab, he was laughing when he was seeing the judgment. Now that's the right spirit to be in, man. All
Yeah.
right.
And if I may say, that's a far cry from me 20 years ago. You
That's
know,
right.
being a simp in the world, you know, thinking, oh, no, it's wrong for men to do that and blah, 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 blah. No, man, that's the judgment of the Lord. You
That's
know,
right.
there's a precept I have on deck, actually, if I may. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 18. I'll just read it. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So those are the times we're coming into, and men are going to be going from house to house, spoiling, man. Now we're just seeing 1 or 2 men rise up and slam these women to the ground. What happens when you got whole societies of men that are taking up that mindset because they had enough? Just gonna tear shit up, man. Women are gonna be so shook in that day. That's why they're gonna be begging. What is it? Isaiah 4 and 1. We'll eat our bread.
How have we not brought up that scripture, you know? How have we not brought up Isaiah 4 and 1 yet? Spirit said, now's the time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read that for you?
Yeah, go ahead, Baba Kishar.
Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Yep. So that means the women are gonna want to. How does the woman take on the man's name? Through marriage. Yeah. So they're gonna want to get with an elect man in that day, and they're gonna want to bring forth his child to take away the reproach. And the scriptures talk about the woman being saved in childbearing if they continue in holiness and sobriety. So realistically, right, it looks like we're losing, but we're holding, like, you know, like in what's that game where they play poker? We're holding the winning hand of cards.
Yeah.
It looks like we're losing, but we've got all aces, man. All we have to do is be patient, wait on the Lord, continue to endure in His truth, and keep believing. And the Most High is going to deliver it all into our hands, man. Lord willing, we be of the hopeful elect.
Lord willing.
Well, this is the thing. You can have faith and believe in that, or you can bust your ass, bend over backwards, try and impress the women on this side, but they ain't going to give you no respect, man. Yeah, you know, again, they might want to smash because you're a Jake and you got a, you know, some physical prowess, but you ain't gonna have a happy ever after, you know, in Esau's legal system, you know, with the marriages and shit like that. You know, you're just gonna get the divorce rates are through the roof. You know, it's not looking good. You know,
Yeah.
You know, there are some brothers who do have sincere women, and the Lord has blessed them with that, but it's few and far between. You know, so it's best to be patient and wait on the Lord.
That's right, man, because this system that we're in is, you know, deliberately designed to work against you, Jake, man. You know, the fact that technically, you know, legally by law, you know, in this world, a man can only have one wife.
Yes.
You know, that goes to show you that the system is set up against us, because even this whole one man to one woman thing don't work, because, you know, it's a known statistic that there's fundamentally more. Well, here, for every 7 women, there's 1 man.
Yeah.
So, what happens to the rest of the 6 women then? You see, just based off that ratio. So it's like the way society was designed, a man is always meant to have more than 1 woman, man.
Yeah.
All right, but we're not able to, you know, have that divine right here in Esau Edom's world. So really, the only thing left is for this world to be destroyed, man. You know, and the thing is that when we're in the kingdom, you know, the woman, the other nations, they're gonna understand that really our system was always the right system for the world all existence to be governed under. You know,
and to flourish.
and to flourish. It tells you that in Romans 8, man. You know, which that'll probably be a good place to close. But we can pull a lot of meat from that, and you
Can't.
know, it's
May I
exhorting.
just say one thing before you bring that out?
Absolutely.
It also goes back to Genesis. We were told to be fruitful and multiply. How can you do that if you've only got one woman?
That's right.
You know, so the
Yeah.
Lord wanted to be fruitful, and that's why a lot of Jake are burning, because a lot of Jake have got no woman, because the society is so fucked up and the relationships between men and women are so broken down that, you know, what did the scripture say? It says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So there's Jake in the world who don't know this truth, who are suffering, and when they see society break down, that's going to be their green light to go buck wild, man.
That's right.
But I'll let you finish up, because we've gone for an hour and 20. You should probably wrap it up.
Come on. This is Romans 8:21. Because the creature itself shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. And the creature is talking about all creation, man. So that's even talking about you women. Once you experience life in the kingdom, life under being under the righteous vibration of Yahweh Hashem Shai's law, statutes, and commandments, you know, you're gonna see just how amazing it is, how glorious it is, how much our system works, how much it works in your favor. Like no, imagine, you know, you're a full-time working woman, right? You got 2-3+ kids to come home to and look after. Got to handle all the bills, this breakdown, car breakdown, this, that, and the third. Like, how can you tell me you've got all those responsibilities and you can sit at home and plus no man and say that you're happy? That don't even sound good. I wouldn't
He's
even want.
doing a miserable.
Really, man.
They hit the wall at 30 when their looks start to fade and they can't compete with the 18 and 21-year-old women, and then they start to get bitter and miserable. And
That's right.
you know, that's their lot though. They deserve it, because a lot of these women had an opportunity for a decent, maybe not a man that they elect, but a decent man who would provide and be a good husband, but they didn't want that. You know, they wanted to be strong, independent, and look where it gets them. It gets them single and alone and miserable.
That's right.
You know, and they're not going to be on the first when that time comes when of Isaiah 4:1, they're going to have to get to the back of the queue.
Right. Hey, man, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first, man. In this world, you women are first. The men, especially an Israelite man, especially an Israelite man of the Lord, is last, man.
Yeah.
But that's getting ready to change, man. So verse 22 says, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. You know, because why are we groaning in pain until now? Because we're, you know, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. It's being ruled under this wicked vibration. Everyone is suffering. You know, Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous on authority, the people rejoice.
And when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
So that's what we're experiencing right now, man. That's why the whole creation groaneth together in pain until now. Verse 23, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, the elect, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body, man. So we can't wait to get out of this bitch, man. You know, the scriptures say somewhere in Revelation how they love not their lives. I think that's Revelation 11:13. They love not their lives unto the death, man. We hate it here. You know, this ain't no way to live. Or the scriptures say this ain't our rest. So we have the understanding of that. Through thy precepts, I get understanding, right? Verse 24, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, what doth he yet hope for? Yeah, so we don't see, our women being in order right now, serving us, having multiple women, castles, chariots, the other nations in subjection. We don't see that, right? But that's what we hoping for, man. The scriptures say that the things that are unseen are greater than the things that we do see, man. And just because we don't see those things right now doesn't mean we're never gonna see those things, man. It's just that we have to be patient, man.
We have
In
to
your
keep the faith.
That's right. It says in your patience possess ye your soul.
soul.
All right. Verse 25, I'll wrap up on this one. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. And that's what we're doing. Scriptures say what? Occupy till I come. So we just patiently waiting for the Lord, man. And no one wants it more than the Lord himself, man.
Yeah.
So
we have to fall in line. But this is one last thing I'll say. We're talking about these precepts, and these precepts give us faith. The scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish. But women don't have the faith. That's why a lot of them are going to have to learn the hard way through when the physical examples start happening, because they didn't have the faith to believe it aforetime. Now, there are some sincere women that will be saved and stuff, but the vast majority, they have to learn through example. So that's what we're coming into those times. So yeah, I think we should wrap it up now. Do you have any more precepts, or is that everything?
No, that's it, man. That's all I got.
Beautiful, man. So that's nice, man. The spirit was flowing. So yeah, Lord willing, that has been an edifying lesson to those who are watching and learning. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wakakudash. Double honors once again unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, who taught us this truth. And shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And we'll catch you on the next session, Lord willing. Shalom for now.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh.